So this video is for you if you are grieving and you are finding it difficult to sleep. It's in response to a comment that someone made on the videos, which shows the importance of making comments on these videos, because the more comments you make, I can then make additional videos replying to those comments and helping you out. So we're going to talk about sleep, and I want to give you a very practical tip, and I'm going to walk you through a little process that I used, and I still use, to help me sleep. Because I know it can be very difficult going through the grieving process and not being able to sleep. So before I do that, two things. Please remember that you can subscribe to this channel. If you click the subscribe link below me and click the bell icon, you'll be notified when more videos go live. And secondly, if you really like the content on this channel, it would really help if you click on the thanks button, and you can give a super thanks, which is just a small amount of money. And then that just helps go towards paying for hosting fees of the website and just to keep the channel going and to keep content going. So please remember to subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please give a thanks, which is a small amount of money. So let's go into this technique. So the technique I use is taken from a process called timeline therapy. And this is used in a therapeutic situation. So I'm a master practitioner of timeline therapy, and I want to do what's called a timeline therapy test flight with you. So this video, do not watch it in a busy place. Do not watch it with other distractions going on. Definitely do not listen to it or watch it whilst driving. Get this video, pause it now if you're in one of those situations. So pause the video and then restart it when you're in a quiet place. You may want to lie down in bed, you may want to sit in a comfortable chair in a quiet space where you're not going to be interrupted for about 5 minutes. And then I'm going to go through with you this timeline therapy test flight. So what I want you to do is I want you to imagine your time. So where is the past and where is the future? If you had to point, where would you say the past and the future is? Would you say it's past and future, past and future, past and future? Where would you say? Now, for the purpose of this, it doesn't matter which way you say, but what I want you to do is to take that line and put that line in front of you. So you've got a running line from the past to the future running in front of you, and take that line and put it on the floor. So you can now look down and you can see on the floor this timeline of the past and the future running in a straight line on the floor. So now we've got that, and we've got that past and future running as a straight line on the floor. I want to walk you through a little technique. So the best way to do that is to sit comfortably, quietly, peacefully, where you won't be interrupted, and close your eyes. Now, what I want you to imagine is that you have your timeline of the past and future on the floor, and I want you to stand on top of it in your mind's eye. Imagine standing over your timeline, standing over this period of time where you can look to the past and you can look to the future. And as you're standing over it, now I want you to imagine hovering over it. So just hover over this timeline. So hover over the timeline of your life. So you're standing over now, and you can look towards the future and you can look towards the past. And we're not going to do anything more than that. We're just hovering over now, looking straight down over now. What I want you to do is I want you to lift up and hover higher and higher and higher. Wow! So you're still looking down over now. Now, what I want you to do is to orient your entire body whilst staying over now to face towards the future. So hovering, face towards the future. So you've got your timeline underneath you and you turn to face the future. And now what I want you to do is to float into the future to an unspecified event that is really happy. It could be anything. You may not even know what that event is. You just float over it till you feel there's an event below you that you think, yeah, that's probably a happy event. It could be a marriage, it could be a birthday, it could be anything at all. You don't even have to know what it is. Just float into the future. An unspecified distance could be a week, a year, it could be whatever you like, but just float into the future till you're hovering above this future event. And just imagine that future event is warm and hot, and there are flames and there's fire around that future event. It feels really good, but it's hot. Now just float down, hovering closer and closer, and notice how much warmer and hotter that event gets and how much the emotions and the feelings intensify as you get lower. And now I want you to do the opposite. Float up higher and higher. And notice, just like the flames of a fire, the further you get away, how those feelings and emotions get less and less. And you can float up higher and higher and higher until you can no longer feel any emotions. You can't feel the heat of the flame. You can't feel any emotions to do with that event. You still know it's a happy event, but when you look down, hovering over it, you can't feel anything at all because you're so high. And if you can still feel, put a jetpack on your back and get higher and higher and go as high as you need to go in order to not feel the emotions and not feel the flame of that fire underneath that event. So good. Now lower down to that event to just to the point where you get lower and lower. You can feel it and it's at a comfortable intensity. Imagine like a fire, you're just at a comfortable distance from it, so it's warm and lovely. And like that future event's got those positive emotions, get to the level that it's warm and lovely. And now turn to face now. Float back along your timeline to now. So now you're looking above now. Look down, float right the way down into now, into the timeline of now, and open your eyes and come back to now. So that's a little, I know you can open your eyes and watch the video again. That's a little experiment called a timeline therapy test flight. Now, how do we use that practically? The way I use that practically is every night. I don't do it every night now, but if I'm feeling emotional turmoil and upset, what I do is I do that. I close my eyes, timeline on the floor. I float up above my timeline. I look to the future. I go out to a positive event. I go higher, 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 so I can't feel it. I come back down. Then I come back to now and I stay above my timeline. And whatever's happened today, however I'm feeling, what I can do is I can float higher and higher and higher, get further away, just like we did in that experiment, until I disappear from the feelings. I can no longer feel those feelings of today. And then I ask myself the question, what can I learn from today? The learnings of which will allow me to let go of those emotions from today. What will I learn from today? The learnings of which will allow me to let go of those emotions from today. So something traumatic might have happened in the day. At the end of the day, I float up above my timeline. I go out to the future, I see that positive event. I just make sure that I can float up and down. I can control those emotions. I float down again. I come back to now. I look over this horrible event that's happened today and I float up till I can't feel it. When I can no longer feel it, which means I'm dissociated from it, I can't feel it, I can think objectively. And then I can say, what can I learn? Well, today I felt that I really missed Claire, and I missed her because of this, and I missed the warmth that she gives me. What can I learn? Are there other ways I can get that warmth? Are there other ways I can feel close to her? Yeah, I could go back through some old photographs. I could go back through some old videos. I might like that. That could be good. Oh, I've got a learning. That's okay. I can actually deal with that. Then I can come back down to the level again. And you will find if you do that before you go to sleep, the process itself is quite meditative. It's quite relaxing. And if you do that before you go to sleep, it will allow you to let go of the emotions from today. And I would love to know how you get on. Let me know in the comments. And remember, if you really like the video, say thanks by clicking the thanks button and make sure you subscribe as well. See you soon. Bye.